second speaker today. We have a very special guest speaker, and presenting her objectives is our speaker's evaluator, Sandra Savage. And Sandra comes to us. I'm going to give a full introduction here. Sandra comes to us with quite a few paths tackled, including innovative planning level 5, leadership development level 5, motivational strategies level 5, presentation mastery level 5, visionary communication level 5, and effective coaching level 5. She is also a PMP. I don't know that acronym, but please join me in welcoming Sandra Savage.
Thank you. I'm really excited today about Shawnte's speech. She is going to inspire us. She's doing a level 3 project called Inspire Your Audience, and the title of her speech is Serving the Calling of Your Soul, which is intriguing right from its title. So I'll be looking for how she inspires all of us, and I'll be watching your expressions to see if she's reaching into your brain and into your heart. Back to you, Brad.
Thank you for that, Sandra. Shawnte's timing today is 5 to 7 minutes, which Kathy has already explained. Our second speaker for today is Leadership Development Level 2, Shawnte Howard. As a leader, Shawnte is committed to helping people find their why through strategic planning, mentoring, and training. With her career spanning almost 2 decades in accounting and finance, Shawnte shifted focus to human development when she saw the need to help individuals who didn't have a voice. Shawnte joined Toastmasters 2 years ago to become a more eloquent speaker. But what she received from this program was so much more fulfilling. In addition to eloquent speaking, leadership and mentoring became a forefront, prompting Shawnte to launch her business consulting firm in 2021. Now, Shawnte not only helps individuals, but small businesses too. She is certified in advanced leadership, board leadership, and connective leadership. Shawnte is a woman who truly believes in the importance of listening to your intuition, and she is a woman who is eager to grow as a renowned public speaker. Please join me in welcoming Leadership Development Level 2, Shawnte Howard.
How many of you are serving the calling of your soul? For years, I didn't listen to my soul. Soul, also known as intuition, heart, your inner self, whatever terminology you choose to use, I didn't follow it. I followed a path that was expected and rooted in the fear of others. This led me to years of stress, confusion, and pain. Mr. Toastmaster, my fellow soul chasers, I recently heard this quote: "Hurt people hurt, and sad people make other people sad." That is so true. When I was 17, my dream was to go to Howard University. Now, maybe it was the continued hours of watching the shenanigans of Whitley and Dwayne as they rendezvoused in the halls of Hillman, or maybe it just was my calling. But my mind was set, and I knew that Howard was for me, so I applied. Despite my honor classes and good grades, my high school English teacher told me that I was aiming too high and that I needed to go to community college. My cousin told me that I'd have no protections when I rendezvoused in DC, and I would be a target for abusers. My mother told me that she didn't have the money to pay for school, and that it would be in my best interest to just work and get a job to support myself. They put their limitations and their fears on me, and it stuck like glue. Now, you could call it luck, but I got into Howard. And then I didn't go. The thing that kept playing in my 17-year-old mind was that I just wasn't good enough and that I was gonna flunk out, and then I'd probably move in with a boyfriend that would give me some incurable disease, and I would then be left homeless and destitute in the streets of DC. Sad people make other people sad. I decided to stay in Boston and go to a community college. And then I began to struggle. I struggled because my soul was guiding me one way, but my mind was guided by what others wanted from me, which wasn't in my soul's plan. So I had conflict. I began to do this dance of going to school, taking a semester off, going to school, taking a semester off, until I just didn't go back to school. I entered several relationships that were abusive, and I worked dead-end jobs and lived check to check. My life as suggested. I became angry, mean, and verbally abusive. Hurt people, hurt people. Years of this version of Shawnte ensued, and despite me making strides to do better, I kept finding myself in situations that were not fitting of the person that I knew I was meant to be. I didn't believe what everybody was saying about me, but I damn sure was living like it. Why? I started to soul search as to why these things were happening to me. And then I realized, well, the common denominator was me. So in the words of Lisa Nichols, I needed to be my own rescue. I decided to take a year to myself to truly understand what I wanted and what I needed. I literally set the date on the calendar, July 6, 2011 to July 6, 2012. I sought therapy, I journaled, I prayed, I even went back to school to continue my education. But what I really did during this time was to figure out what I like and what I didn't, where I wanted to be professionally and where I wanted to be as a woman. I soul searched. I emerged from that experience with a deeper sense of self, understanding, and the self-promise to always follow my heart, despite what evidence was in front of me or what the world thought I should be doing. So when the next opportunity came for me to follow my intuition, jump in a car and drive cross country without knowing what was waiting for me on the other side, I jumped. And it was the best decision of my life. My friends, are you doing what is in your heart to do? Are you listening to your spirit when it shows you the things it knows will bring you joy? Or do you ignore it for the things you feel are more precedent, important, or necessary? Just a few short years after my soul search year, my intuition brought me to LA and to a life that I would never have experienced had I ignored it. My friends, if you are experiencing a life that is not fulfilling for you, you will need to get real with yourself. Where do you lack light in your life? What excites you? What are the things that drain you? Those things that drain you, they will need to be alleviated or changed first. Now, if you need a little inspiration, you can follow my 10-10-10 method. In numerology, 10 stands for new beginnings for all of you who love a good angel number. So here's what you do. You write 10 of your desires. It could be a budding career. It could be that Lambo truck. It could be a quiet night at home. Then write 10 things that you are grateful for. Maybe it's waking up. Maybe it's that friend who helped you solve a problem. Maybe it's the fact that you have great health. Then write 10 things that you love to do. Do you love to sing in the shower? Do you love to ride your bike on the beach? Do you love taking walks in your neighborhood? These could be anything you want, past, present, and future, and they can also change daily. There's nothing too big and there's nothing too small. 10 desires, 10 things you're grateful for, 10 things you love. The more you do this, the more you become clear, and the universe will begin to create your desires for you. Your inner voice will begin to speak to you loud and clear. And when it tells you what to do or what not to do, listen and follow it. And if you follow it, my friend, it will lead you to a life that you were always meant to live. I promise you. My fellow masters of evaluation, are you ready to serve the calling of your soul? Mr. Toastmaster.
To evaluate Shawnte's speech. Please welcome Sandra.
Thank you, Judith. Shawnte, you have a presence. There is no doubt about it. When you begin speaking, everybody paid attention to you. For me, your speech built up momentum. I was waiting for it to hit that breaking point. And that was when you said, "My life as suggested." That would be a phenomenal title to this speech. And as it invokes more curiosity. What I found also was your first sentence, "How many of you," something, I just kind of threw away. But then you turned around and said, "I didn't follow it." And that open confession and letting us into your life and showing the dichotomy between what you wanted and what other people said you could achieve, and then you finally believed them, was like this big, huge buildup. Pause after you say, "My life as suggested." In fact, I recommend you pausing so much that it makes us uncomfortable. And as I mentioned in our notes in the chat, I was just writing down line after line after line. You had some good lines in there. And the ones that really got to me were, "They put their limitations on me." All these disclosure moments make you vulnerable, make you believable. You could be up there promoting, a new set of knives and have enthusiasm. But if you don't let part of yourself in, and you did that exquisitely, and then you rendezvoused back and forth, that dialogue that was just so dynamic. One thing I noticed about you is your hand gestures were symmetrical until you made that disclosure. Then your hands took on their own identity, and they just demonstrated something differently rather than doing a Nancy Pelosi chopping the block all the time. That's my bad example, sorry. I love that you put the 10 desires, 10 things you're grateful for, 10 things you love to do up there, but it almost seemed a little too simplistic. I would tick off your fingers to show that it is a little bit of hard work. It's not just an instant set of knives that are going to cut your vegetables for you. And the ending, "Are you ready to follow the calling of your soul?" was very impactful. But I would highly recommend a title such as "My Life, as suggested," because that's going to show us the before, the pivotal moment, and the after. Your goal is to take this to a larger audience and to inspire people, and you did that. I loved your dance, semester on, semester off. Those type of things really let us know about you, and you had everybody smiling. So great speech. Thank you, Shawnte.